So I was taking a look into Hermeto Pascoal, the living genius of jazz music, but I would say that among composers, I would risk to say that he's the most skilled composer in the field of popular entertainment or recorded music. A very, very, very skilled composer, but his peculiarity is the lack of formal education, okay? The formal musical education. That he, as many type of composers like him, they like to be proud of. But you have to observe this with carefully. He, as many of this type of composer musicians, so he has absolute hearing and managed to learn different instruments in early age, etc. And but he said he did no formal study. So what does this mean? This means that we are fooled by this, because actually he learned to write his music. He learned to write his music, and it's very funny the way he writes. So he has a very interesting calligraphy. And it's like him, very spontaneous, naive. And we could say that his music is the skill of writing and the skill of hearing. Nothing else. So, no double dominance, no modulation, no... He doesn't think about the things, okay? At least it is how he said. So he said, I feel, okay? I don't think, I feel, okay? And this gave me the opportunity to have a very important insight about musical education. The musical education of a music composer. I cannot say to Hermeto Pascoal, hey, you need the formal music education to understand, because he's superior than me. As a composer, from the historical point of view and from the national value for us and even international value. However, exactly the fact that he's so a very fulfilled composer that is based on musical spontaneity, let's call it this, or the musical naivety. We have the naive movement in France, like Henri Rousseau, so in the start of the 20th century, where the artists started to be proud of some lack of formal elements, academic elements, okay? A little bit like the Jean-Jacques Rousseau, okay? 200 years earlier. So this naivety is interesting. However, it makes very clear something very important, that only the musical knowledge, only the music education, the formal education, the traditional education, only the theory can fulfill. And this is the answer to the question, how is Hermeto Pascoal going to teach what he did? Okay. So now he's almost eight years old, or 8, 9. So I think he doesn't think about teaching. So the conclusion of this is that someone will have to teach his music. And how are you going to teach his music? You are going to teach his music without formal music education? Or are you teaching for other people who have absolute hearing? No. So the question of musical education is really this, is how are you able to keep some tradition alive? Okay. The point of musical education is really the creation of this connection of meaningful relationships, meaningful historical relationships that create the whole substance that we call tradition. And in my point of view, as an artist, at least as a classic composer, you have the duty to keep the tradition alive. So the tradition was given to you, all the resources, all the ideas of Mozart, the ideas of Wagner, Gustav Holst, the ideas of John Williams. You take all these ideas and you learn and you spit out and you think, okay, that's it, thanks, job. I think it's not like this. I think you own the tradition, the thankfulness, and the service of keeping this alive. Because you alone, you are just a piece of shit, exactly like this, in the whole. Okay? Not the other way around. You are a very important piece of shit, let's say like this, okay? Because you have your dignity as a human being. But you are a piece in the whole of, in the history of music that is 2,000 years old. Do you understand? More. So the formal music education, or the music education, is about keeping the tradition alive. And one of the best tools that we have to establish a common ground of communication that allows us to understand the things and to develop this education, or the theories, the names, the concepts, the relationships, the patterns, the universal laws, the problems, the paradoxes, the antinomies, the conflicts, but organized conflicts, organized problems, okay? And this is what you use to keep the tradition alive. If no one does this, every composer will have to start the whole history of music again. And you have to wait for some genius like Hermeto Pascoal that has this insane mind and create what he created without much struggle. So he composed for a whole year, one music each year. And now go here, each music that he composed. So you see that the guy has no barrier between his ear and what he's right. It's kind of similar like the Steve Vai. So there's this type of musicians. But Steve Vai is more educated as well. So this is why Steve Vai is really powerful. And this is why Steve Vai connects with you in a sentimental level, deeper, I think, than Hermeto Pascoal. So, it's not every musician that is exactly like this, okay? So this is not the average pattern. So music education is about people who are de facto a little bit below this prodigy people. Okay, Jimi Hendrix was prodigy, you understand? And this is what most people from the popular field of music don't understand. And also soundtrack film music, they don't understand this. They question over and over again if they have to start learning how to read music. This is so stupid. If you don't hear well, if I play this, and you don't understand that this is a dominant seventh chord with the suspended fourth, you have to study music to learn to read, to play music, to learn by memory. You have to do this process because you are not in the category of the amazing people, okay? And I know how it is. There's people who speak about knowing music just by ear. They also don't practice ear training a lot. But they also don't have absolute ear. Do you understand the problem? They don't have absolute ear or this natural, insane access to music as Hermeto Pascoal had. I don't have it, okay? So that he goes everywhere with the harmony and he knows everything. So Miles Davis wanted to be like Hermeto Pascoal. Hey, come on, wake up. So when these people speak about naivety, I don't need formal training, because they are geniuses, they are the exception. And even these people, they have a problem, and I pointed now the problem. They can't trade the craftsmanship of what they do. Okay, this is the only flaw that these people have, unfortunately. So think about it. Ciao, ciao.